Hey guys, how's it going? Webhub Sisinti here. In this video, I'll quickly run you through this awesome and a super powerful tool, Phantom Buster. Again, a disclaimer. I know I've been giving disclaimer in almost every video, but disclaimer is automation is not safe. It's against terms of service for LinkedIn. If you're banned or anything happens to your account, I am not responsible. I don't personally use automation anymore. I all I'm doing right now is for educational purposes. Now that being said, let's quickly jump into this tool, Phantom Buster. What Phantom Buster is, it's basically a mix of multiple APIs. That is, all these APIs you can consider them as small automation sequences for multiple social networks, right? And just like other social networks, it has a ton of APIs for LinkedIn, right? We'll be using multiple of these APIs going forward in the course, but for now, let me quickly run you through few of them, right? You can accept invitations, you can extract activities, you can auto endorse, which we'll be using very soon, auto withdraw, auto follow, so on and on and on. But before I get there, right, like how this my goal for this video is to teach you guys on how to use this tool. This is not a very simple tool to use. It needs a little bit of learning curve and a little bit of copy paste of a few code snippets. So just be with me to understand what I mean by a lot of these things, right? Quickly jumping to the pricing plans of Phantom Buster, it's actually not as expensive as it ideally should based on the kind of things it is with the kind of things that you can do with Phantom Buster, right? It has a free version which basically has 10-minute execution time. That is, the automation sequence will only run for a maximum of 10 minutes a day, and you can only do one kind of API automation, right? Like only accept or only send requests or only endorse. You cannot do multiple of them. If you are planning to do multiple of them, you can take the Growth Hacker version, which is $30 a month, and this is probably the only tool you might need to run any kind of automations, and it has 1 hour of execution time, which is a lot if it's your personal profile or anything like that, and it has 5 API slots, which is more than enough. There's something called as business, enterprise, premium, and so on. I'll put a link below which will give you basically a discount and an extension of free trial if you use that link. But now, right, we can get started with a free trial of 14 days with no credit card required. Right, let's tap on free trial. Let me use this email. Now I can use sisinthewebber@gmail.com, but since I've already used this, let me say LC, which is LinkedIn course, right? After plus whatever you put, it basically makes the email unique one, right? So this is just for testing purposes. I set up a password. I'm a marketing guy. It doesn't matter. I'll just say VS. It's just optional, so it just doesn't matter, and click on sign up, right? Once you do that, I've signed up. It'll ask you to like basically send you an email where you have to say that yes, this is my email. But again, that I'll do later in the background. But again, right, once you log in, this is how it looks like. There are multiple tools. Don't get confused, don't get lost, don't worry about it. Follow me what I say. I'll run you through the most important things that you should know about the tool before we get started with any kind of automations, right? So let me quickly pull out any one of the API. Let's say this is the automation sequence or the API which can accept invitations automatically. Let's say you get thousands or hundreds of invitations on an everyday basis, and you don't want to click that accept button on and on and on. You can use the sequence to automate, right? So all you have to do is click on use this API. Once you do that, this thing opens up. Again, we are in the growth hacking tool version of it, so you can use up to 5 of these at any point of time. Of course, you can click on this and delete this if you don't want, but again, right? So to get started, the first thing that you should do is configure this. You can see this configure me button. You tap on this. It needs a few things. First is the session cookie. Session cookie is basically this. You open LinkedIn or Facebook or anything. I mean, you can follow all the instructions accordingly if you're using any other social network. They have nice little documentation here, but the problem with Phantom Buster is there are very few resources out there which can help you on how to use this tool, and you might get lost. It might take you a while to understand this tool. Again, right, as I said, I won't be using any of my personal accounts for any kind of automations whatsoever. I have no intention of getting banned from LinkedIn. For educational purposes, I'll be using my friend's account, Again, this is not a fake account, this is a legit person, it's not a fake account. uh, right? So first thing that we need is a session cookie, right? What is a session cookie? A session, you can obtain the session cookie by right clicking, going to inspect, application, select cookies, and go to linkedin.com. This window would open up, scroll down and go to li_80. Double tap on this. This is basically the session cookie. All you have to do is, again, I'm sorry, looks like I missed something. Double tap, right click, copy, and paste it here. Right, this is basically is a session cookie. This is something which is mandatory for every kind of automation that you can do. Right, again, right, this for accepting you have multiple sequences. This is something that we don't need as of now. The other thing that I wanted to teach you is these are all automations. So this is like, if you look at this, it says number of invitations to accept per launch, max 50. That is, the sequence launches. That means once it starts the process of automation, it will accept a maximum of 50. That is called as one launch, right? The numbers could differ based on the API or based on the activity that you want to use. For example, let's say you're sending invitations, the max could be less than what it is here, but one activity is basically one instance at which it will do a list of actions as it promises, right? Let's say you want to repeat accept invitations 5 times a day at 1 p.m, 5 p.m, 2 p.m, and 5 a.m, and 12 p.m, whatever, right? Let's say you want to repeat it 5 times a day, so that you start accepting 50 invitations every time there's something new. For that, you have to repeat these things. For you to get to repeat settings, you have to click on settings here, the settings tab here. Once you click on that, it'll open up this launch setting. So here you basically have multiple settings. You can explore all of this. The thing that I would suggest if you're a free version is click on it on repetitive and basically use one of this, whatever makes sense. Twice a day, thrice a day, 4 times a day, 6 times a day, 8 times a day, once per hour, and so on and on and on. You can choose these settings based on the activity that you want and based on the premium account or a free account that you want. I'm making a video just to talk about limits based on the kind of account you have, so you don't worry about it. Alright, so let's say for this instance, I would say once per day. That is, it'll accept 50 invitations, a maximum of 50 invitations per day. And that's all you need to know for this video, right? It's as simple as that. You need to remember 2 things. That is copying the session cookie by going to LinkedIn account, by logging in, going to application and copy the li80 cookie and pasting it here. And the other thing is the repetition settings. Well, there could be times where if you overdo it, LinkedIn might automatically log out because the moment the automatic the LinkedIn algorithm detects something is fishy, it will basically log you out of your LinkedIn automatically. And when that happens, your session cookie expires, right? If that happens, what you'll have to do is, again, right, this will stop running. This process will stop running, so you might have to copy and paste the LinkedIn session cookie again. Guys, there is nothing to be worried about. We'll be using this multiple number of times, so I'll be running you through this multiple number of times till you're very clear about it. So don't worry about it. It's very simple. There are 2 things that you need to remember. One is the session cookie. The second is basically the repetitive settings. It's as simple as that. Again, don't worry, even if you think this is a little complicated, don't worry about it. I would be going through a lot of these things on the go, so there is nothing that you need to be worried about. Again, being said that, this runs on cloud, and obviously it's hard for LinkedIn to detect, but again, right, let's say you're logging in US and logging in some other country, LinkedIn can detect that your LinkedIn is being used from 2 different countries, which is not usual. So I'll also run you through a process to make sure that doesn't happen. After you do everything, LinkedIn is super smart. If they want to detect you, they will detect you, and if they want to ban you, they will ban you. So whatever you do, whatever I'm showing, all the demonstrations are for educational purposes only, so make sure you don't overdo it. And if you're getting banned or a soft banned or anything like that, it's not my mistake. I'm just showing you for educational purposes. All right, that's more about it. I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.